Alright guys, here it is. The nightmare problem. Remember, what makes it a nightmare is not the fact that you have a square root equal a square root. It's this minus 1 here and that kind of throws you off. Remember, when you're doing this, you need one single square root equal to whatever else is going on over here. You are going to square both sides, right? So we're squaring left and we're squaring right side of the equation. On the left side, it's really nice. It just falls away. So we have a negative 4 minus p equals, and remember, we are foiling. So we've got square root of 2p plus 9 minus 1 times the square root of 2p plus 9. Ooh, I should really just write x's. Minus 1, okay? So my negative 4 minus p equals, when you do first times first, I'm going to try to color code for us. First times first, that's the square root times the square root. That's just going to go away. So you're going to have a 2p plus a 9. When you do outer times outer and inner times inner, the only thing that happens is that you have a negative 1 radical stuff and a negative 1 radical stuff. So this just means you have a negative 2 radical stuff, right? So we just write the stuff that's underneath, okay? And then when we do last times last, oh, that's not too bad. Negative 1 times negative 1 is a positive 1. All right, so we've got the hard part done. Well, the first difficult step is done. And then all we do is we simplify a little bit on the right side, okay? So we just have the 2p, but we have plus 9 and plus 1, so that's going to give me a plus 10. And we just negative 2 times the square root of all that stuff, right? So negative 2 radical stuff. All right, we can now subtract 2p and subtract 10 from both sides. So subtracting 2p and subtracting 10. When I do that on the left, I'm going to get, oh, I've got to switch to the other one, sorry. Come on, dude. There we go. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually kind of rewrite it as we go. The negative p minus 2p is a negative 3p, and negative 4 minus 10 is a negative 14. Okay? So then those are gone on the right side. It equals a negative 2 radical stuff. Now, it would be great if all three numbers were divisible by 2. But that negative 3 is not. The only thing that we can do is if you want to divide everything by a negative 1, you're really just going to go and change your signs, right? When you divide everything by a negative 1, it just changes your signs. So that becomes a positive 3p plus 14 equals 2 radical stuff. All right. At this point, I am going to shrink this part of the problem. So if you need to pause to make sure that you're where you need to be and catch up, do that now. And then I'm going to shrink it so that we can go on with what we got. Okay? All right. So we are going to FOIL again because we have, well, we ultimately are going to FOIL again, but ultimately we have to make sure that we square both sides because we've got another radical we got to get rid of. So the left side is going to be, and I'm going to write it just a little bit bigger so we can see it, 3p plus 14 times 3p plus 14. Now the right side, please be very careful, guys. When you are squaring something and you still have a number in front, like we've got this 2 right here, you square that number. 2 squared. Not 2 times 2, 2 squared. Yes, I know it happens to be the same number at the end, but 2 squared. So this is really going to be 4. You are not adding, you are multiplying. So it is 4 times 2p plus 9. All right. Foiling the left side. 3 times 3 is 9, so this is 9p squared. All right, outer. 3 times 14, I believe, is 42. And then inner is going to be the same thing. So we got 42p plus 42p gives me 84p. And then last times last, 14 times 14 is 196. That's going to equal 8p plus 36. You are going to subtract the 8p and the 36. Oh, crap, I keep forgetting the, there we go. 8p minus the 36, you are going to subtract those, okay? Gotta switch colors, there we go. So, we have a 9p squared plus a 76p plus a 160 equals a 0. Now, the reason I did 23 instead of 22 is because 22 actually is a nice number. Like when you solve it through, yes, it's one of the nightmare problems, but ultimately it factors. This bad boy factors as well, but it's a little bit worse. And I promise, like when we do the test, the numbers will be nicer. So you do a 9 times a 160. So 9 times 160, if I remember correctly, is 1440. And then we want two numbers that multiply to get 1440 and add to get 76. Those two numbers are going to be 40 and 36. Okay, again, on the test, it'll be nicer numbers. So at this point, if you need to stop, I need to actually kind of shrink things down again to make them, give myself a little more room. But stop here if you're need to catch up, and then we'll continue. All right, shrinking. Whoop. I hate when it shrinks all of it, like it's separate stuff. But whatevs. All right. So we are going to take and split and regroup, right? So we've got 9p squared. We are going to split the middle term. So we're going to split the middle term into 40p plus 36p. Okay. And then we add, oops, not a file. Don't add a file. Press the wrong button. Press the wrong button. There we go. So then we still have our plus 160. Okay, that equals a 0. Out of this first group, the only thing that I am factoring is p. So then that's going to be a 9p plus 40. Okay. Out of this second group, the only thing that I can factor is a 4. And then we'll have, so out of this second group, the only thing they have in common is the 4. So then that is actually going to be a 9p plus 40 as well. And remember, we should get the same thing in that set of parentheses. So we've got 9p plus 40. Okay. And then our leftovers are p plus 9. Those two factors, when we multiply them, we get 0. So either this first factor, 9p plus 40 equals 0. Oh, that's a 4. I'm sorry, this one up here is a 4. Or our second factor, p plus 4 equals a 0. Subtract 40, divide by 9, so p equals a negative 40 divided by 9, so a negative 40 over 9. And then this one here, p equals a negative 4. And again, just go to your calculator to check it when you do, and I'm not going to walk through it. This is your correct answer. That doesn't work.